Ever wonder if the world's deepest mysteries are just waiting to be discovered? From haunting ancient ruins that hold forgotten tales, to lost inventions that disappeared without explanation, to astonishing natural phenomena and artifacts that challenge our understanding of humanity's origins millions of years ago. Each enigma forms a complex, captivating story of our past. It invites us to question, how much do we truly know? Join us as we venture into the unknown, where history guards its secrets fiercely and every shadow conceals a puzzle that has baffled the greatest minds for centuries. So sit tight, and you will have incredible luck if you like and subscribe before this video ends. The Secret Scribe's Tomb, Luxor. What if one of the most famous ancient Egyptian tombs still held a secret no one had ever seen? In 2017, that's exactly what happened in Luxor, a city already famous for its incredible ancient architecture and royal burials. Archaeologists were simply cleaning the well-known tomb of Userhat, a royal scribe, when something caught their eye, a mysterious gap in the wall near the forecourt's east side. What lay beyond wasn't supposed to be there. Curiosity took over. The team squeezed through the narrow opening and stepped into a chamber untouched for over 3,000 years. This was no ordinary room. It was a second funerary chamber, hidden in plain sight, belonging to another royal scribe named Khonsu. His tomb dated back to between 1292 and 1069 BC, a time when scribes held immense power in Egyptian society. But what made Khonsu's tomb truly remarkable were the murals that adorned its walls. They told stories not just of Khonsu and his wife, but also of gods like Osiris and Ariadne, the sun deity. One mural showed something strange, for baboons worshipping Ariadne. Why baboons? Ancient Egyptians believed these animals were spiritual guides for scribes, inspiring their writing. Could this mean Khonsu's muse was a baboon? And if so, what secrets did this connection hold about how scribes worked and thought? The discovery raised even more questions. How had such an important tomb remained hidden for so long in a site that had been extensively explored? Could there be more secret chambers, more scribes waiting to be uncovered? Each new detail hinted at a deeper story about the lives of those who shaped ancient Egypt's history through their words. This find didn't just add a new chapter to Luxor's story, it opened a door to mysteries still waiting to be solved. What other secrets lie behind walls we think we know? And how many voices from the past remain silent, waiting for someone curious enough to listen? The vanishing corpse and the blunted axe, Ireland's oldest burial. Imagine digging into the earth, expecting to find the remains of an ancient human, only to discover nothing. In 2001, researchers exploring the Hermitage site in Ireland, home to the country's oldest known human burial, faced this exact puzzle. They knew hunter-gatherers from around 9,500 years ago often buried their dead simply under layers of sand or rocks. But this grave was different. There was no skeleton. Instead, evidence pointed to a cremation, a practice rarely seen from that period. This was the first surprise. Yet, what they found among the grave goods was even more baffling: a shale axe. Not just any axe, but one displaying a level of craftsmanship unparalleled for its time, 3,000 years ahead of its apparent era, making it the oldest polished axe ever found in Europe. How could such a sophisticated tool exist in a period when simpler methods prevailed? This weapon was a true anomaly. As if its existence wasn't mysterious enough, further analysis of the axe's wear revealed another twist. It had seen almost no use. And then, the most perplexing detail of all, the axe had been intentionally blunted. Why create such a masterful, ahead-of-its-time weapon, only to render it useless? Archaeologists began to speculate. Was this a unique ritual, perhaps a symbolic act for burial? A powerful weapon made purely for the afterlife, its edges dulled to signify the death of its owner, or perhaps to prevent its use in the spirit world. The discovery defied expectations about ancient Irish burial practices and technological development. It left behind questions about the beliefs and rituals of these early people that still echo today. What kind of society created such an artifact, and what deep meaning did this blunted masterpiece hold for them? The Hermitage axe remains a silent testament to a complex past, inviting us to rethink what we thought we knew about early European civilization. The liquid mercury mystery, Teotihuacan's hidden tunnel. In the heart of ancient Mexico, beneath the sprawling ruins of Teotihuacan, the largest city of the ancient Americas, archaeologists stumbled upon a secret that would rewrite what we thought we knew about this enigmatic civilization. For years, a narrow tunnel beneath the pyramid of the plumed serpent had been slowly excavated, inch by painstaking inch. No one knew what lay at its end. Then, in 2015, the team finally broke through to a sealed chamber that had been untouched for nearly 1,800 years. What they found stunned everyone: a vast pool of liquid mercury. Yes, mercury, an element so toxic and difficult to mine that its presence in such quantities was completely unexpected. Why would an ancient culture go to such lengths to leave behind a pool of this rare and dangerous metal? The answer remains a mystery. Teotihuacan was home to around 200,000 people between AD 100 and 700, yet we know almost nothing about their rulers or social structure. They left no written records, and their political system remains a puzzle. Some archaeologists believe the mercury marked a sacred space, perhaps a tomb of a ruler or a place of powerful ritual significance. Mercury's reflective, silvery surface might have symbolized a gateway to the underworld or a divine realm. This underground chamber was not just a simple burial site. It was a carefully constructed ritual space. The mercury's presence, combined with the tunnel's layout and other offerings found nearby, hints at a complex belief system involving death, rebirth, and the cosmos. Yet, the true purpose of this mercury pool remains elusive. Could this be the tomb of a king, hidden beneath layers of earth and metal? Or was it a symbolic boundary between worlds, a liquid mirror reflecting the mysteries of life and death? The more archaeologists uncover, the more questions arise. Teotihuacan's mercury chamber is a haunting reminder that ancient civilizations held secrets far beyond our current understanding. What other hidden chambers lie beneath the city's pyramids? And what stories will they tell when we finally find them? The mercury waits silently, shimmering in the dark, guarding its ancient enigma. The double-chambered tomb, the mystery of Eyewitness. In 2009, after nearly 2 decades of uncovering only female priestesses at a Moche cemetery in San Jose de Moro, Peru, archaeologists were ready for another familiar discovery. Instead, they found something completely unexpected, a tomb unlike any before it. This burial, dating to around AD 850, held not one, but 2 chambers. And inside, a man rested, surrounded by signs of elite status and ancient spectacle. The coffin was adorned with copper and gold, marking him as a figure of great importance. But what truly set this tomb apart were the clay bowls lining the walls, each filled with liquid. Archaeologists believe these bowls were heated, with ceramic bottles lowered inside to create a mesmerizing smoky aura during the burial ceremony. This was no ordinary funeral. It was a carefully crafted performance meant to awe those who witnessed it. Adding to the intrigue was a staff with bells found beside the man. This was a crucial clue. Moche art depicts a figure known as Eyewitness, or Wrinkle Face, who carries a similar staff and appears in funerary scenes. Scholars concluded that this man was likely the living embodiment of Eyewitness, a powerful archetype in Moche culture. But why had this role, previously associated with female priestesses, been held by a man? And what did the smoky ritual signify? Was it a form of spiritual transformation, a display of power, or a passage to the afterlife? The tomb raised more questions than answers about Moche beliefs and social structures. This discovery shattered previous assumptions, revealing a complex society where ritual, identity, and performance intertwined. The man in the double-chambered tomb was not just buried. He was immortalized in a spectacle of smoke, sound, and symbolism. What other secrets lie buried beneath Peru's deserts? How many more stories of forgotten rulers and rituals wait to be uncovered? The tomb of Eyewitness remains a haunting reminder that history often hides its most fascinating tales in plain sight, waiting for the curious to bring them to light. The missing tomb, Egypt's mysterious foundation deposits. Between 2007 and 2011, archaeologists working in Egypt's famed Valley of the Kings made a discovery that puzzled even the most seasoned experts. They uncovered 4 caches of ritual objects arranged precisely at the corners of an invisible square. These were foundation deposits, ceremonial offerings traditionally placed to mark the presence of a royal tomb. Each cache contained familiar items: a cow's head, a blue vase, pottery, and flint tools. Everything was exactly as expected, except for one crucial detail. There was no fifth deposit at the center of the square, and more importantly, no tomb. For centuries, Egyptian burial customs had been consistent. These foundation deposits always indicated a nearby royal tomb, hidden at the heart of the pattern. But here, despite exhaustive searches, no tomb could be found. Had the tomb been cleverly concealed beyond detection? Or was it possible that it was never built at all? This mystery deepened when researchers considered the historical context. The site dated back about 3,000 years, a period of great upheaval. It was around the time Amenhotep IV, later known as Akhenaten, moved the royal court to Amarna, disrupting centuries of tradition. Could this political and religious shift have caused the abandonment of the tomb's construction? The missing tomb challenges everything we thought we knew about royal burial practices in ancient Egypt. Was this an unfinished project, halted by changing times? Or a deliberate deception to mislead tomb robbers and protect the royal dead? The Valley of the Kings still guards its secrets fiercely. What lies beneath the sands, hidden from view? Could future discoveries finally reveal the tomb that was never found? Or will this mystery remain an eternal enigma, a silent testament to a time when even the greatest traditions could be broken? The missing tomb invites us to imagine the stories lost to history, waiting patiently to be uncovered. The Vault of Ships, South Abydos Nautical Necropolis. In 2016, beneath the relentless desert dunes of South Abydos, Egypt, archaeologists uncovered a burial chamber unlike any other. What made this find extraordinary wasn't just the tomb itself, but the astonishing theme that adorned its walls: boats. Not a few, but over 120 pharaonic vessels carved in plaster sailed across the chamber's whitewashed surfaces, creating a surreal flotilla in the heart of an arid landscape. This discovery raised immediate questions. Why would a burial chamber be decorated with so many ships? Egypt's deserts are far from the sea, and most tombs typically feature scenes of gods, the afterlife, and funerary rituals, not fleets of boats. The scale and detail of the carvings were unprecedented. Among the remnants was even a few wooden planks believed to be from a funerary boat belonging to Senwosret III, a Middle Kingdom pharaoh who ruled around 1850 BC. This suggested that the chamber was part of a larger complex dedicated to the king's burial. Yet, the entire site remained buried beneath the sands, with many structures still waiting to be uncovered. Archaeologists speculated about the symbolic meaning of the ships. In ancient Egyptian belief, boats were vessels for the soul's journey through the underworld, transporting the deceased safely to the afterlife. Could this chamber represent a grand voyage, a spiritual fleet guiding the pharaoh beyond death? The boat building itself was underground, surrounded by other hidden structures that might reveal more about this maritime motif. Why did the Egyptians choose to cover the walls with ships instead of the usual gods and underworld scenes? Was this a unique ritual reserved for Senwosret III or a broader cultural practice lost to time? As the sands continue to conceal more secrets, the Vault of Ships stands as a testament to the mysteries still buried beneath Egypt's deserts. What other stories do these silent vessels hold? And how many more hidden tombs await discovery, ready to reshape our understanding of ancient Egyptian beliefs and funerary customs? The voyage into the past has only just begun. Filed Viking teeth, the silent language of a massacre. In 2009, near a road construction site in Dorset, England, archaeologists uncovered a grim scene, a mass grave containing the remains of over 50 Vikings. These warriors had attempted a raid on local Britons about 1,000 years ago and paid the ultimate price. But what made this discovery truly unforgettable wasn't just the scale of the massacre, but the eerie arrangement of the bones. Legs, rib cages, and heads were piled separately, a morbid puzzle that hinted at a brutal, chaotic end. Yet, the most unexpected detail lay in the Vikings' teeth. Careful examination revealed horizontal lines filed into the front teeth of many men. Precise, deliberate grooves that couldn't have been self-inflicted. This was a form of dental modification, a kind of ancient tattoo etched into bone and enamel. Why would these fierce warriors endure the pain of filing their teeth? Archaeologists believe the Vikings sought out skilled craftsmen to create these markings, transforming their smiles into symbols of status or intimidation. The patterns might have been a way to strike fear into enemies during battle, a terrifying display of teeth bared in grim defiance. But the true meaning remains a mystery. Was this a rite of passage, a mark of belonging to a particular clan, or a symbol of rank among the Viking elite? Despite their fearsome reputation, these men's teeth tell a story of culture, identity, and perhaps even fashion. The massacre site itself raises questions, too. Why were the bodies arranged so deliberately after death? Was this a message to others, a warning, or a ritual cleansing? The Vikings' brutal end contrasts sharply with the care taken in their dental modifications, revealing a complex society where appearance and symbolism mattered deeply. What other secrets do these filed teeth hold about Viking life and death? And how many more stories lie buried beneath the soil, waiting to be uncovered? The silent language of the Vikings' smiles invites us to look closer and listen harder to the past's hidden voices. The Backward Saint, a Christian burial like no other. In 2011, in the quiet fields of Little Carlton, England, archaeologists uncovered a discovery that challenged everything they thought they knew about early Christian burials. Among a trove of rare artifacts, writing tools, glassware, and other signs of an elite Anglo-Saxon community, lay a grave unlike any other. The body inside was that of a man, but he was buried face down, crammed into a tiny dugout barely wider than his shoulders. His knees were turned backward at a full 180 degrees, a posture so unusual it immediately caught the attention of researchers. Yet, despite these oddities, the burial was clearly respectful. The man's body had been carefully preserved and laid to rest long after decomposition had begun. Why such an unusual arrangement? Stories from the era speak of dead kings and saints being moved to new resting places, sometimes after long journeys. Could this man have been a revered figure, perhaps a royal or a saint, whose remains were transported and reburied with great care? The backward knees and prone position might have been symbolic, perhaps to keep the dead from rising or to signify humility. The grave's location, surrounded by signs of writing and trade, suggests this was no ordinary man. The site may have been a monastery, a trading post, or an elite island community, isolated by water some 1,500 years ago. The presence of the writing stylus and other artifacts hints at literacy and culture in a time often thought to be dark and chaotic. This burial raises profound questions about early Christian beliefs and funerary customs. Was this a unique ritual reserved for the holy or powerful, or a local tradition lost to time? The Backward Saint's grave invites us to reconsider how early medieval communities understood death, sanctity, and the journey beyond. What other secrets lie beneath England's fields, waiting to rewrite history? And how many more stories of faith, power, and mystery remain buried in the soil? The Backward Saint's silent vigil continues, a puzzle from the past beckoning us to uncover its truth. The Jester God, a Maya ruler's unexpected legacy. In 2008, deep in the jungles of Guatemala, archaeologists working at the ancient Maya site of Co uncovered a hidden trapdoor beneath a modest home. What lay beneath was a small storage room, and inside, the remains of a man who had died in his 50s. Surrounding him was a collection of pottery, but one piece stood out, an incense burner decorated with a figure known as the Jester God. This Jester God, recognizable by his distinctive tassel-like headdress, was a powerful symbol of Maya royalty. Before this discovery, scholars believed the Jester God only appeared in artwork around 100 BC. But radiocarbon dating of the pottery and bones pushed the earliest known depiction back to around 350 BC, nearly 2 centuries earlier than anyone had imagined. This revelation forced a radical rethink of Maya history. It suggested that advanced Maya civilization, with its complex political and religious systems, began far earlier than previously believed. The man buried beneath that humble home was likely one of the earliest known Maya rulers, a pioneer of a civilization that would flourish for centuries. But why was this ruler buried in such an unassuming place? And what stories did the incense burner tell about his reign and status? The Jester God symbolized power, creativity, and divine right. Yet this burial was modest, hinting at a time when Maya kingship was still evolving. This find opened a window into the origins of Maya civilization, revealing a world where power and spirituality intertwined in unexpected ways. It challenged long-held assumptions and invited scholars to explore new questions about how Maya society developed. What other secrets lie hidden beneath the dense canopy of the Guatemalan jungle? How many more rulers, gods, and stories wait to be rediscovered? The jester god's quiet presence in that storage room is a reminder that history often begins in the most unexpected places, and that the past still has many surprises in store. Clues to Greek origins. The most complete Mycenaean tomb since Troy. In 2015, a team of archaeologists faced a frustrating setback. They couldn't get permission to excavate a promising slope near the ancient palace of Nestor in Greece. Undeterred, they turned their attention to a nearby grove, and what they uncovered there would shake the foundations of Greek archaeology. Beneath the earth, a shaft led to a remarkably intact male skeleton, surrounded by an astonishing trove of over 1,400 artifacts. Precious metals, ivory, ornate weapons, and stone seals filled the tomb, creating a treasure unlike any found in Greece since the legendary discovery of Troy. But this wasn't just a hoard of riches, it was a puzzle. Among the items were mirrors, combs, and beads, objects typically associated with female burials. Moreover, Mycenaean tombs usually contained multiple bodies, yet this one held only a single man. Who was he? A king? A priest? A warrior? His identity remains a mystery. Dating back to around 1500 BC, this tomb offers an unprecedented glimpse into a time when Greek civilization was still taking shape. The artifacts came from far-flung places: Crete, the Baltic, the Middle East, and possibly Egypt, revealing a cosmopolitan society engaged in wide-ranging trade and cultural exchange. This discovery challenges previous ideas about the origins of Greek culture. It suggests that the Mycenaeans were influenced by a complex web of older civilizations, blending diverse traditions into something uniquely their own. The tomb's untouched state is a miracle, providing scholars with a rare, undisturbed snapshot of a formative era. What secrets does this tomb still hold? Could it reveal the identity of the man who shaped early Greek history? And how did these ancient connections influence the birth of one of the world's greatest civilizations? The Mycenaean tomb stands as a silent witness to a world long gone, inviting us to piece together the story of Greece's origins, one artifact at a time. The past waits patiently, ready to tell its tale to those willing to listen. Each discovery opens a door to the past, but also leaves us with new questions. What other secrets remain buried, waiting for curious minds to uncover them? History is not just what we read in books. It's a living puzzle, constantly reshaped by those who dare to dig deeper. The journey to understand our origins continues, and the next great mystery could be just beneath our feet. Feel free to leave your comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more mysteries like this. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.